Hi, folks. I hope everybody is okay. Love to everybody out there. God bless you. Just making a short video calling out Piers Morgan, and there's a few other videos I'm going to be making. I'm feeling a lot better today. I've been taking my medicine. I'm not in pain right at this moment, so I want to thank everybody for their prayers and support, and I really appreciate that. So I'm feeling a lot better today, and it's been really difficult the last 7 days. I've been in terrible pain, not been able to think much, do much. It's just been really difficult. Today, I'm 80% back to, well, 70% back to normality. So I want to thank everybody for that. So I've got about 4 or 5 quick videos I want to make. So without further ado, I want to call out Piers Morgan concerning his attack upon the Unite rally. So let's just look at this. Hope we can get some sound on it.
Boring, far right for being patriotic. Let's put the N-word aside. People say negative things. Is that a reflection of you?
So far we've moved from
question.
So
Is that
far,
a reflection of
so
you?
far we've established.
You didn't answer my question.
I don't know who you until you came today.
Yes.
I had no idea who you are, right?
Okay.
And I'm very happy to have you here. I absolutely respect your right to be on this, Mark.
This conversation between this lady and Piers Morgan. The lady was on at Unite Rally. The Unite Rally, quite a few important issues were brought up: grooming gangs and the rape of young girls, and also stabbings by Islamicists. So this lady represents some of that, standing up against these things. She's at the rally. She speaks out against these things. Piers Morgan just wants to talk about smaller issues. He doesn't want to go to the bigger issues of what the rally was about. He's trying to blacken the rally, make it look bad. I would advise Piers Morgan. I like Piers Morgan, but I would advise him to have gone to the rally next time, go, rather than nitpicking. And to be honest, Piers, I think what you're doing is pretty disgraceful.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I respect the right of everyone to protest peacefully. And actually, both marches went off relatively peacefully with a small handful of arrests. I commend the police for excellent work, and I commend the marchers for not being violent. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Shouldn't have to come to that, but I do.
Right. So the marches, the Unite the Rally, which was massive, he acknowledges it wasn't violent. Well, why don't you condemn the Prime Minister and other politicians that were saying that these are far-right thugs? You need to condemn them, Piers.
So far, you've only been on the show 3 minutes, and so far we've established that you got the flag wrong.
Okay.
Right, when you were lecturing.
This is just minor nonsense that Piers Morgan, he's not really letting this woman have her say. He's just bringing nitpicky stuff.
Me about what it takes to be English.
Under pressure with
you said there were 1.2
people.
million people when the police said there were 50.
So I see.
Next, I mean, does that not worry you that he was in the BNP? Does that not scare you?
So why did he leave the BNP? Why did he stop
Well,
supporting
the BNP disbanded. It stopped becoming a political force. It stopped being a political force.
Well, from
in
my
the United
understanding of
Kingdom.
Tommy Robinson, he left the BNP, he left the EDL because of these racist rhetorics. For example, there's a new party called Restore Britain.
So how can you say that Tommy Robinson is racist when he had this lady and other people of colour on his rallies? So I mean, it's just ridiculous.
To Restore Britain launched, there was a lot of people that were being extremely racist towards people like myself. And Tommy Robinson actually recently came out and made a video saying that Rupert Lowe needs to actually sort this out and stop the racism. So I'm quite confused to how you're still here trying to be so desperate.
Fantastic. Really, really good, this lady.
Okay, but when you have...
just exposed them there. Well done, Gil.
May I just say...
We saw all the Africans also singing at the event. We saw so many Sikhs, and you're...
It's just see the mainstream media. It's just wicked. It's evil. They're saying that Tommy Robinson is racist, yet there were Africans singing at the rally. It's just crazy.
Still trying to sit here and say it was racist. I bet you still think he's racist.
Well, I didn't say that he was racist. I said that he was part of the BNP that believed in
absolutely. You're trying to blacken his name.
Ethnic nationalism.
In the past.
So it surprises me. But can you really repent for
customs?
Well, let me go to the only Muslim member of the panel today, which is Cenk Uygur. Cenk, welcome back to Uncensored. I mean, you've got a guy there on stage with bacon on his shoulder who says his mission is to inflict maximum damage on Islam. And there was constant anti-Islam, anti-Muslim rhetoric during this rally. And if you look at Tommy Robinson's social media feed, it is a relentless attack specifically against Islam and Muslims. He pretends he's not anti-Muslim, but he constantly attacks the religion of Islam. So what's your view of this, Cenk?
Like I said, not Muslims, but Islam.
Not Muslims, it's just Islam.
Yeah. So look, I view it in two different ways. And I grew up Muslim, but I'm atheist now. So, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to.
I grew up Muslim, but I'm an atheist now.
Speak effectively enough for Muslims. But like the bacon on the shoulder and the burqa skit, I don't care about at all. Oh, wow, you showed a piece of bacon. It's not like Muslims don't know bacon exists. So I'm not offended by that at all. On the other hand, when they start talking about kicking out Muslims from parliament, why? Why should Muslims not serve in parliament? Well, that's obviously and directly racist and bigoted.
They want Sharia law, maybe.
And to me, the biggest problems, Piers, are the hypocrisy. You're right. Of course, if they said 1% of this about Jews.
This guy changes like the wind.
They'd probably literally be imprisoned in Britain. And it shows you the disparity in power that the two different groups have.
I've never committed a crime in my life. I've never incited violence. I've been to the UK. I've attended every one of these UTK rallies in the past. I think from the time it started 2 years ago, there's been 5 or 6. I've attended every single one. I've marched in every single one. I've never called for violence. So yeah, I'm just baffled as to why I would be banned from a country just for expressing an opinion. Or being associated with Tommy Robinson.
Would you categorize yourself as far right?
Absolutely not. What is far right? Who gets to define what far right? To me, the only thing that's far right apparently is if you disagree with any of Labour's policies or any left-wing policies.
Yeah, if you're far right, if you disagree with left-wing policies, yeah.
That makes you far right. The deciders of what's far right and what's hate speech and things like that are the people in power. That's why Britain is in such dire straits right now with their speech, because they don't have a constitution set in stone that protects their speech rights and their.
This is a very sensible gentleman. So he was censored from coming over to UK. And it shows you how dark our country's become.
Free expression. All they have is a litany of different court precedents and legal precedents.
They're discussing the rally that Tommy Robinson did recently.
That establish what can or cannot be free speech, and that's dictated by the party in power, which means they can change like the wind. That's not really free speech. Britain's never really had free speech. To me, they need some sort of constitution set in stone that protects it.
Do you believe
absolutely brilliant
that Muslims should be allowed in the UK Parliament?
After 5 fruits, I ain't never going back. So fruity, so thick, I ain't never going back. So from the pack, morning, noon, or late night snack. Gimme that fire. Mango passion, coconut, strawberry, my way. Gimme that fire. So smooth, so thick, so from the pack. After 5 fruits, there's no going back.
What kind of
5% off when you join Tool Station Club.
First stop, Tool Station.
Well, I'm not a British citizen. I don't like to have the problem with Islam and the problem with Muslims in Parliament is Islam itself and what it commands of Muslims. They must always make policies and legislation to protect Islam. It's Islam first and foremost. It's never a separation of church and.
That's a brilliant point. You see, if Muslim MPs become MPs, they have to be loyal to Islam, so they have to encourage Sharia law. So that's just the way it is. And Sharia law means that eventually you'll become a dhimmi. That means you have to pay a tax. just to be in a Muslim state, in a Muslim community. If you're not a Muslim, you have to pay a tax. But there's many other things that Sharia law brings that is not compatible with our culture.
Well, they couldn't do that as part of the UK Parliament because they'd be subjected to UK law. So that's an irrelevance.
Well, they would do their
irrelevance because things as they gain power. So see what
these predominantly Pakistani Muslim men. You don't find the white men. Hold on. You don't find the white men in Britain raping Muslim girls as some sort of religious targeting, because the reason they don't rape their own.
That's a powerful argument. Powerful argument, brother. Well done.
Girls is because that would be haram, so they go outside of their religion because that's considered all right, because we know what the Quran says about sex slaves and all those things outside your religion.
Made up? Are you're talking nonsense? Everybody, go and study your Quran. Go and study your Quran. Go and study the life of Muhammad. Muhammad they even had marriages where you went off to war. Okay, you went off to war. And then you left your wife, and so you needed sex. So they went to Muhammad and said, look, what we're going to do, we've left our wife, we need sex. So Muhammad said, you can marry the women in this city that we've taken over, and then you can divorce them when we leave and go and fight another city. Just do your research. Go and study the Quran. Go and study the Hadith. Go and study, because it's not made up. These far left people are what we call useful idiots. Absolute crazy people.
It's just made up.
This is just
made up.
Well, let me bring it
made up. Just go and do your research. It ain't made up. The man from America there, not the far left guy next to Piers, he knows what he's talking about.
Let me bring Ava Santina back in here.
In your mind, you probably want to do it. That's why you put it. You project it on the Muslims because your sick mind thinks that's a fun thing to do.
What kind of nonsense is this? You're projecting it onto the Muslims. It's a fact. It's a historical fact that tens of thousands of British women, young women, were, you know what, over a long period of time, and the establishment hid it. The establishment put it under wraps. I did a seminal book on it. Amazon pulled my book down. It was a phenomenal book, 300, 400 pages. I did research on it. It was a massive book. Amazon took it down. Fact, historical fact, the police, the social services, all of them were in on it. The mass degradation, I won't use the word you know what. It's a fact. It's not a projection.
You don't think that's a fun thing to do. You
say about the point he's making.
Oh, it's an outrageous thing to say about him, but it's not outrageous to say about all Muslims.
No, but
no, it's much more outrageous to say it about all Muslims. The only reason you would think it is if it's a fair.
This far left guy's just off his head. He can't debate or discuss. He's not even properly engaged in the discussion. He's just going off on a rant that doesn't have any evidence or anything, doesn't even make sense, because he's going against a historical fact. Rupert Law's going to bring out a report soon, and it will show the absolute wickedness of what went on with white working class girls in Britain by Islamic grooming gangs.
To see in your head. Yeah, Don, you think about it all the time, don't you?
It's not my statistic. It's it's the British government statistic.
I want to bring the women back into the debate.
It was given to the House of Commons, House of Lords by Lord Pearson.
House of Lords.
Sorry, thank you. But by Lord Pearson, but there isn't any evidence that it was then submitted to ministers who rejected it. So I don't think there is any evidence for that claim.
Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Of course, of course he's lying.
If someone, God forbid, raped your daughter and then came back to you and said to you, actually, let's talk about ethnicity and religion and statistics and not the fact that your child has been raped. How would you feel? How would you feel?
But I'm just
These are
saying
children we're talking about. Children have been raped, and rather than people just focusing on the fact that these children have been raped, they're talking about Islamophobia, racism.
Look at
far left. Look out for the far left. Look at the far left. not the coloured lady, the lady on the you know, they can't face up to the fact that the far left and the Islamicists, what they have done to the white working class young women, and the far left are as guilty because they are the ones that are suppressing the evidence of what happened to tens of thousands.
All of this.
I just think it's too serious.
Using the example that white men rape in this country is like saying, oh my gosh, Nigerians are raping so much in Nigerians. White men are the majority in this country. So yes, they are going to make up the statistics of men raping. But when we're talking about grooming gangs, yes, it is Asian Muslim men. We're not saying it's all men. We're not saying it's all men. What I'm trying to say is, if someone raped your daughter, you would not like someone to come to you talking about ethnicity, racism, Islamophobia. You would want someone to have compassion.
He is literally just given a statistic making that exact point.
At the end of the day,
Ava is responding to a statistic.
Young girls are being assaulted.
Notice they're not letting her talk. Notice the shutting her down.
Are we talking about statistics and racism?
But that was my point earlier.
Have some compassion. Why don't you guys just sit here and say it's sad?
We are literally the ones who are having the compassion.
Just sit here and say it's sad and we need to find a way for it to stop. But you guys sit here and talk about Islamophobia and racism and statistics. Who cares? I don't care if it's one person. We should just have some flipping compassion.
But is that not the point that we're all making?
There's two reasons.
No, the point that I'm making is, why wasn't your response, this is wrong, we need to figure out a way to do it? Instead, you brought out statistics from your phone talking about, I cannot find it.
That is categorically
No, what I'm trying to say is, as a woman, have some compassion. And
no,
if
I'm not going to have you dominate.
She's brilliant. The colour lady's brilliant.
If someone's telling you that young women are being assaulted, and your first yes, because you know what you're doing is disgusting and demonic. It's so demonic.
What is demonic? What are you talking about?
It's demonic.
You've just driven someone to leave the studio.
Yeah, no, she left by herself.
You made up a stat that you called it demonic.
She does not like the fact that I just drew her out for being actually quite disgusting. If someone tells you...
Fantastic. Go on, girl.
It wasn't disgusting. You were the one being disgusting.
And how?
You didn't listen to her.
How? I listened to everything that she said.
No, you didn't.
You started talking about it when your daughter was raped.
She was checking a claim made by another panel member.
If someone tells you that a young person has been raped, I don't care if it's 5 English women or 2 English women, have some compassion and just say it's wrong.
Where did she show no compassion? What are you talking about?
When did she say in this interview that this is wrong and we need to figure out a way?
You weren't even listening to why she was saying what she was saying.
No, but what?
No, Piers. She's just exposed you far left lunatics. You far left lunatics, rather than say tens of thousands of English women, British, English, white working class women were, you know what, assaulted in you know what way. Can't say the word because the YouTube will pull it down. Why not just say it was totally wrong, rather than getting into all the racism and all the rest of it? Just say it's wrong and we need to sort it out. Don't say, like that far left guy next to you saying, oh, it's okay. It's all projection. You're the ones that are really, it's you that are really thinking these things. Just said, no, this is wrong. What's happened? We need to sort it out. Simple as, but you can't do that because it upsets all your narrative because you've allowed this mass immigration. You've allowed Islam to take root in the West, and you're not willing to look at the implications of what that's doing to our society and culture. It's not racism, bro. For goodness sake.
Why was her first response bringing out statistics and not saying, actually, this is wrong?
She schooled you. She's absolutely schooled you. Well,
because another panel member made a claim about a statistic. How stupid can you be?
It's not about being stupid.
You made up a statistic and then said it was demonic.
The whole far-right narrative.
The statistic wasn't made up. The statistic was not made up. It was extrapolated from data that came from Rotherham, Telford, and Oxford.
Yeah.
That same method of extrapolation is used for disease prevalence, wildlife, environmental factors. That same method of data collection is used throughout science.
Let me try and help for those who are too stupid at the back.
Piers Morgan just
Don Keith made a claim which Ava Santina,
at the same time,
what are you talking about?
The fact
she's brilliant. Piers, I'm sorry, mate, but you've just been Totally destroyed, mate.
That we should not have sympathy for it, and at the same time,
nobody said that. What are you talking about?
Have sympathy for what's going on with
nobody said that.
Do you have sympathy?
What are you doing?
Do you have sympathy for the young English girls that have been assaulted? Do you have sympathy?
Sorry.
So now you're stuttering. Now you're stuttering.
No, I have.
Piers, you got slaughtered, mate.
You've just exposed yourself.
Do you know what? I have a no stupid people rule on.
Ad hominem attack. You're not actually dealing with what she's saying. Why don't you just say, yes, it's terrible what's happened, but then you have to acknowledge what's happened. Then you have to acknowledge all the narrative behind it, who's done it, and that destroys the far left agenda. So that's why you can't.
Panel members for this show, and sometimes we drop below it. The way you started this panel and the way you've ended it suggests that you shouldn't have passed our bar because, frankly, you've been not only stupid and ill-informed and told a bunch of lies, but then right at the end, you've driven one of our regular panel members to leave because you told disgusting lies about her.
Force her.
You made disgusting suggestions about what she did or didn't care about.
She lied. I was just questioning where was her sympathy.
To be clear, Don.
She's brilliant. And the fact of the matter is you've got no moral compass, Piers Morgan. I'm sorry, bro. You got no moral compass. And then you're trying to belittle this lady, this coloured lady, belittle her and mock her and say she's stupid. How arrogant can you be, mate? You're totally arrogant, mate. Absolutely
Keith
arrogant.
made a statement involving a statistic. Ava checked it. The 250,000 stat is widely circulated but unsubstantiated, as she explained. The Government Grooming Gangs Task Force, created in 2023, helped police to identify more than 4,000 victims. Let me say what I believe about that. It was disgusting that was going on for so long without proper accountability. It was disgusting that there was a cover-up at all levels of government in this country to not bring the perpetrators to book. Yes, it is true that in that particular grooming gang, rape gang scandal, it involved predominantly British, Pakistani, Muslim men. All of those things are inarguable. But it's also true that the vast majority of sexual crime in this country is perpetrated by white men. Right, so this idea that it's only perpetrated by Muslims is nonsense.
Only Muslims.
And the idea that people like me or Ava Santina have no compassion for the victims when all we have done for the last few years is express loudly and repeatedly our compassion for the.
No, you haven't, brother. No, the fact of the matter is, it's only because of Tommy Robinson's work years ago, bringing this to light, that it's been brought to the public attention. You, Piers, kept quiet in those days when Tommy was bringing this up. You, Piers, and many of the left journalists were telling him to shut up, telling him it's not right. But now you've had to acknowledge it, but you're reluctantly acknowledging it, and you're not seeing the implication of the fact that it's a specific group that are specifically targeting certain people because of a certain ideology, and that is something that you're not dealing with.
The victims, and our outrage about the scandal is frankly ignorant, stupid, and disgustingly offensive. And I don't blame Ava for leaving. And you, I'm afraid, if you ever come back here, which I think is unlikely, Sintish, you should be better informed. And when you're on a panel, you should listen to what people are actually saying.
Piers, I'm not being funny, Blake, but you never listen to her. You're not really engaging with her. You're just trying to mock her, deride her. You've not really engaged with her. Or from the beginning to end, all you've done is mocked, derided her, shamed her. In fact, really, you've kind of like abused her, really, to be honest, Piers.
Before you smear them in the way that you smeared them. We're going to end things there. Thank you to my panel. I appreciate it. We're turning now to the claims of an Israeli plot to hijack.
So basically, super chats. I don't know how to do that, bro, Fredo. I don't know what to do with super chats, bro. Don't know what to do, mate. Like, if anyone could tell me how to do super chats, I'll be interested. Well, there you are, folks. I mean, basically, right? That conversation was about the Unite March. And all that Piers did was attack this coloured lady. That's all he did. Mocked her. You're stupid. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. He didn't actually engage with her. Did Piers Morgan go to the march? No. The first thing he said that there was people saying derogatory things at the march. Did he go amongst the people? Did he say anything positive about the march? No. So it was just a hit job. And he just loaded on that coloured girl, mocking her, attacking her, but never ever listened to her. So Piers, I'm sorry, bro, but you did not come out well on there. You looked, you were a total disgrace. The reason why you're a total disgrace is because you didn't show any objectivity. There was no objectivity in what you were doing, what you were saying. You hadn't even been to the march yourself. You haven't gone and talked to people yourself. So there was no objectivity. And the lady that walked off is just someone who's far left who can't debate. We all know the far left can't debate. You can't debate, bro. It's as simple as that. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Fred. So there we are. Absolute shambolic from Piers Morgan and that diabolical Turk guy. He's absolutely diabolical guy. And the guy has got no integrity at all. I've got no time for the Turk guy at all. But I had to do this video in defense of the colored lady because I think she made a valid point that there was no disgust from Piers Morgan or the panel about the victims. Only afterwards, at the end, did he start saying, oh, we've been disgusted with it and sad about it and it's been bad. But she caught them out. She caught them out, and fair play to her. And you're not stupid. You're a highly intelligent lady. You're highly articulate. You're highly informed. And so I wouldn't get discouraged by Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, I'm sorry to say, is part of the elite. He plays the game with the elites. He kind of pivots sometimes to the left or to the right, but it's all for the elites. It's all for a game for the elites. The elites control him. He's part of the elite network. He's part of the legacy media, and he's got no integrity whatsoever. If he had integrity, he would have gone down to the march. He'd have walked around, talked to people. He would have saw 5-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, little kids there, elderly, pensioners, ex-army, army. You'd have seen all types of people. Sikhs were there. There were all types of people there. So to try and blacken Tommy Robinson, to try and attack this woman and say that she's stupid and whatever, it shows you the legacy media is a disgrace. The legacy media has no integrity. And, you know, Keir Starmer and others, politicians, saying that, and also Piers Morgan saying that, you know, there was hateful stuff being said. The other march, the Palestinian march, where they're saying death, death to the IDF. These marches with the Palestinian flags being flied. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened on that day when Hamas went into Israel? Do people know what happened? Do people know what happened? Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? These people that go around flying the Palestinian flag and go death, death to the IDF who support Hamas. Do you know what Hamas did? Do you know what they did? If I describe to you what they did, you will be sick to the stomach. They not only, you know what, women, they stuck cans in the you know where, inside the women, razor blades in the women. They cut private parts of people and put them in the mouths of women. This is the animals that these Hamas did. And then we're allowing these people to go and fly the Palestinian flag and say death, death to the IDF. And these are the people that are supporting Hamas. The Hamas did these indescribable wicked things. Mass, absolute mass. I don't want to use the word beginning with R, but they had women, and then the men would mass, you know what? Then they would get a man and kill him and cut his private parts and put it in the women's mouth. And these are the people, and then we're allowing these people to walk the streets of the UK singing death, death to the IDF, and then you have the temerity to call Tommy Robinson and attack the Unite March. How despicable, how evil the far left are in the UK. You are useful idiots of the Islamicists, and you will destroy our nation. And the lady on there was not stupid. The colored lady was not stupid. She was bright. She was intelligent. She was informed. And you didn't engage with her. And that's why I've done this video, Piers, to stand up and defend her against your idiotic, stupid, ill-informed legacy media mindset, Piers Morgan. And your far left absolute mental illness of your far left ideology. I'm sorry, but do not attack the colored lady saying she's stupid and this and that and this and that. When you've got Hamas and what Hamas did to those over 1,000 people. I can't tell you that you have to go and research what these evil, conniving, wicked, evil monsters did to the people on that day. Monsters, absolute monsters. And the BBC and Piers Morgan and all these people, you're just part of the problem, propping up these monsters, allowing these marches to continue. Death, death to the IDF. That's why anti-Semitism has grown in the UK, because of those marches. Those marches have been grooming people to be anti-Jewish and anti-Israel. And the BBC, always on the side of Hamas, always on the side of the Islamicists, never showing the other side. The far left are the greatest danger to our country. They are satanic, they are evil, and they are destroying our country. They are destroying Britain. The far left are the Nazis of our time. They are destroying our land, they are destroying our people, they are destroying our culture, because they can't debate, they can't engage in debate. They have to go and call a colored lady and say she's stupid and she's idiot because she attended a Tommy Robinson march, a Unite the UK march, and spoke out eloquently on that march, and they have to attack her. I'm sorry, but I'm angry. The reason why I'm angry is because of what Hamas did to those people, those Jewish people. And it's people like Piers Morgan, they are the problem. The legacy media, they are the problem. The far left, they are the problem. They are the useful idiots of the Islamicists. And they are destroying our country, piece by piece, bit by bit. They can't engage, they can't be objective, they cannot have an intellectual discussion and debate. We saw it there, the way Piers Morgan mocked that woman, attacked that woman, mocked that woman, articulate, intelligent woman, colored woman. He attacked her, mocked her. He did not engage with her in any intellectual capacity whatsoever. It's called in debate ad hominem attack. All he did was an ad hominem attack upon that woman. And he mocked the rally. And yet you have a rally every week in Manchester, Birmingham, London. Death, death, death to the IDF. Death, death, death to the IDF. Flying the Palestinian flag, promoting Hamas to the British people. Hamas that stuck cans up girls' private parts after they abused those women, and cut private parts of men and stuck it in a women's mouth, and they're singing and promoting Hamas. And we have a parliament, we have a prime minister, we have an establishment and a media that have allowed these marches to continue for over 2 years. Plague on all your houses, you evil, absolute wicked, evil parliament, evil prime minister, evil BBC. Plague on all your houses, you wicked, evil people. Because if I was prime minister, I'd send British soldiers over to Gaza and I'd take out Hamas in 5 minutes for what they did. I have sympathy for the Palestinian people. I have sympathy for the children. I even donated to the Muslim youth in Manchester. My speaker, I said to the Muslim youth, take my speaker, cost me £40. I gave it to the Muslim youth to raise money for the children of Gaza. I have sympathy for the children of Gaza. But where is the sympathy for the people that were raped and desecrated by those monsters of Hamas? Where's the sympathy for those Jewish people that were taken, and not only Jewish, but there were people, foreigners as well, from Spain and UK and America. They were taken, I can't use the words because of YouTube, but you know what happened. And then they got cans, tins of baked beans and things like that, cut them open and stuck them in the private parts of women, and cut the private parts of men and put them in the mouths of the women. And these are the same leftists that when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, they cheered. So I have no sympathy. I have no patience for the Young Turk. I have no sympathy or patience for Piers Morgan. I have no sympathy for these far left absolute ideologues who have no ability to debate. You cannot debate. I have not met a far left person yet that can debate. All you can do is mock, like you did the colored lady, calling the colored lady stupid, idiot, and all the names under the sun, but you couldn't debate her. I'm sorry. Why am I angry? I told you I'm angry because of what happened to those Jewish people was by monsters, absolute monsters. And it's people like Piers Morgan and it's people like these far lefties that have allowed these marches in the UK for over 2 years promoting promoting Hamas. Promoting Hamas. When you fly the Palestinian flag, you're promoting Hamas. And you've allowed that for 2 years. Piers Morgan didn't denounce it. None of these far leftists denounced it. They never attacked these marches. They allowed the marches to continue in Manchester every week, Birmingham every week, London every week, grooming the UK people to accept Hamas as some kind of normal. And the media, the BBC and all the rest of it, all behind it. And then when Jewish people are being stabbed in the UK, being attacked and murdered, then they start to say, oh, maybe these marches are not a good idea. Well, I'm sorry, it's not good enough. And then you have the temerity to attack Tommy Robinson and to attack that march, which was a family event. It was not perfect. I've made a video about it where there was issues that I called out. It was not perfect, but it was a family event. It was by people from Scotland, Ireland, from Wales and England. It was from A whole body of people. And you want to attack that, but you don't attack these nut job, evil, wicked, evil marches. Evil marches promoting Hamas. I'm sorry, but I'm really, really angry when it comes to what the Hamas did to those Jewish people. They're not, the Hamas are monsters. They are evil monsters, what they did. The things that they did, if you go and research what they didn't only kill and abuse the women and the men and the babies. Even in their death, they give no dignity. Even in their death, they give those bodies no dignity. They did unspeakable things to the dead bodies, let alone when they were alive. So I've got no, I like I said, I do like Piers Morgan, believe it or not, but I don't agree with you, brother, on many, many things. And this situation, you did not do well. You should have gone to the march and find out for yourself and be more objective. And you're not. You're part of the legacy media. You're part of the elites, and you have to play their game. I think you need to be a bit more honest with yourself, and you should have gone to the march yourself and talked to people and maybe have an open mind, but you didn't do that, bro. So for that reason, you're done in this discussion with me. And I have a right to get angry. If people are saying, why are you angry? I'm angry because of what happened to the Jewish people by Hamas. And then these marches in UK, flying the Hamas flag, the Palestinian flag, and promoting the Palestinian cause, saying death, death to the IDF. And these marches have been allowed for 2 years. Nobody was attacking these marches. Nobody came out against these marches in the legacy media, nor in Parliament. They've only recently started to say something because Jewish people have recently been attacked. And then I watched this, and they're attacking the Unite the Kingdom march, what Tommy Robinson organized, and they're attacking this colored lady. I'm sorry, I haven't got any patience for that. You know, one side are monsters, the evil that they did. The other side are just doing a family event. For goodness gracious me. Oh, you can't criticize Islam. They're criticizing Islam at Unite the March, and everybody on all the far left are getting all upset and you know. Oh dear, you can't make it up if you tried. Anyway, I want to just say one more thing. I want to bring this to your attention. I've not finished yet. I have a newspaper that I do. It's called Trump News International. And I've not been doing it for a few months because I've just wondered what's the point. But I'm going to continue to do that newspaper because I feel like it's important to defend free speech. I feel these far left people are destroying our country. And I don't want to get too political, but I'm going to do that newspaper once a month. I'll re-edit it in the next day or two. So that's Trump News International. There's no link here, but I think if you go on the main page, you'll find a link on the YouTube thing. You'll find a link there. But there's one more thing we need to deal with, which really got on my nerves the other day.
They really are starting to go after our patriots. Anyone who has opposing thoughts and ideology. Ryan Bridge, Raise the Colours, was arrested at the Unite the Kingdom march pretty much as soon as he stepped off the train and out of the train station in London. They could have done it in Birmingham. They could have done it at home, or they could have done it at his place of work. But they purposely arrested him in front of everyone at the United Kingdom rally. Why is that? I'm Craig, a former British soldier, and that's what we're going to be looking in today. We've got a lot to cover. But before we do, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and turn notifications bell on, and head over to combatwithhq.co.uk. Grab yourself your coffee, ready for our videos, and to fuel yourself throughout the day. Let's have a look at the arrest and then see what he's got to say after that. We have got it muted just because he's put some music over it, and we don't want to get any issues with copyright, but have a look at this. It's pretty brutal arrest, the way they drag him away. There you go. So we'll just quickly stop that. There you go then. So that's the arrest that happened at the United Kingdom March yesterday on 16th of May.
I could see that, and I just was like, why wouldn't you come and get me? You've been to my work, you've been to my home before, you know where I live, you know where I work, yet you've decided to let me leave my home, leave my work yesterday, when supposedly there was a warrant out for me yesterday. So they've left my work where they got the van from. Then I went to my home last night and stayed in all night. They didn't come to.
So I want to just talk about this. They Unite the Kingdom rally. Ryan have raised the colours. He's a guy. I love this guy. He's a really nice guy, and he puts Union Jacks and English flags up around the country, and it's called Raise the Colours. And he's a really nice guy, and the people around him are nice people. Anyhow, when he went to the United the Kingdom rally, they arrested him in a big way down at the rally. They did it in the hope that it would cause a fight. They were hoping that it would cause a mass riot or something. Anyhow, it didn't work. But it was a disgraceful act by the state. What they did to him, he hadn't done anything wrong. He hadn't done any crime. He was accused of some crime. Some driving crime when he wasn't actually there at the scene. So it was just all made up, and they just arrested him and made a big scene out of it, was aggressive. He's under massive lawfare attack. There's like different councils that are trying to take him to court because they don't like him putting up these flags. I just want to say that the state is anti-British. The government is anti-British. The media is anti-British. The far left are anti-British. The Islamicists are anti-British. So anybody who puts their head above the parapet and says, I'm pro for my country, are going to get this kind of reaction. This man is trying to do his best to stand up for his country. I mean, for example, you walk anywhere around the UK, you'll see a Palestinian flag. But yet you're not allowed to fly the British flag. And so he's saying, no, we'll fly our British flag. And then the accusation comes, oh, you're far right, you're racist, and all the rest of it, which is nonsense. So I'm just making this point for Ryan, is that Ryan is a great guy. I think what's happening to him is an absolute disgrace. The government, the police, the media are all a total, absolute disgrace. And shame on them. Shame on them. And I'm just making my point that I stand with this man. And I'm sorry that he's going through state persecution, all because he wants to fly the British flag. So keep up the good work, Ryan. And so we're done with Piers Morgan and the far left cabal. And yeah, I had to have my rant today about these issues. and stick up for. The reason why I've done this video is to stick up for free speech. I'm not taking it. I am not taking it. I am not taking it down lightly. I am not having my free speech suppressed. And if I see this colored lady being mocked, and if I see Ryan being attacked like this, and I stand by and I don't say anything, then I'm just as bad as the state. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to step up to the mark, and I'm going to stand up for that colored lady, and I'm going to stand up for the Unite March, and I'm going to stand up for Ryan. I'm not having it. I'm not having this far left nonsense. It just ain't going to happen. And I will speak out, and I have a newspaper that I'll be promoting every month, TrumpNewsInternational.com, which I haven't been doing for a few months, but I'll redo it in the next few days. And that is my contribution to defending free speech in our country. So God bless you and love to all of you. And I hope this has been informative. And thank you for Nine, Mask, and everybody that's come on. I love you all. And I'm going to be making more videos now. And so I'll see you in the next few minutes. God bless you all.